Our first live speaker here is someone whom I met when I was at my absolute worst. I was having a complete breakdown. I described myself as a basket case on that day. I remember I was teaching at a Buddhist school, and I was being asked to teach a class that I'd never taught before, and the books weren't there, and I knew the book was over 1,000 pages, and I had slunk down to the floor, and I remember just sitting there on the floor thinking, what am I going to do? How am I going to get past this? And it wasn't just what I was trying to teach. It was because my heart was completely smashed. It was in so many fragments I couldn't even pick it up again. And I knew from a friend of a friend of a friend that there was someone I should call. But everyone said, oh, he's really hard to get a hold of. He's all over the place. If you try and call him, he's probably not going to answer. I don't have his phone number. And after talking to about 10 different people, I finally got the phone. It was a Friday at 5:05 p.m. when I called him. And he picked up. And I have been quoting him ever since. So we are very, very lucky that he has taken some time away from what he usually does, which is help people in very distressed situations. I think he may tell us a little bit more about that. And I would like you to put your hands together and welcome MarTan Martinez.
Good evening. I have other names, but people stopped calling me those names years ago. Wasn't a good batch of names that I was known by. But we go through life, and what I do is I believe in and was brought up with a lot of diversity. It was very different being me. It wasn't easy being me. It was a challenge every day to just go out in public and be yourself. And you're taught to be good to yourself each day. And if you're not, then who's going to do that for you if you're not good to yourself? And I run into a lot of people who are the worst person in the world to themselves. They beat themselves up. And a lot of them have to do with the way they live as Native Americans. We were put through the knot holes. We were drugged through the big old boulders. We were put through so many different things that it was not easy being who we are. But today we're still here, and to know that we're still here how many people in here have been to a powwow? Okay, good. How many people have been to a roundhouse? How many have been to Sundance? Okay. And so these are, you lift your hand last. What are they called? Ceremonies. Ceremonies. And they're traditional healing ceremonies where natives still have in place where they couldn't do long time ago. And where I come from, they took the signs out of the windows that says no Indians allowed in the store. They weren't allowed in the store. And what year do you think that was? Take a guess. Yeah. Yeah, what year did they take those signs out of the windows? No, 1968. Some of you weren't even here yet. Maybe all of you weren't even here yet. Not quite sure what the age limit is in here. But that was just around the corner for me. And for me to be brought up with that kind of atmosphere there to deal with every day is not like down here, because where I'm from, they put us on reservations. And on those reservations, nobody was allowed except for the members that lived there. Nobody came up to visit us. Nobody came up to give us any kind of services. Our floor was a dirt. It was no wooden floors, no nothing like that. than what they have today. So there's a lot of differences that people had, and people had restrooms in their houses, and we had no clue what that was because our restroom was way over there in the corner called the outhouse. We talked to the birds and the animals. We talked and went and played with chipmunks. We played with the coyotes. We played with the bears. And the bears would teach you some really good lessons, you know. And sometimes if they came to you hungry, you need to recognize when they're hungry because they're looking at you like they're dinner. Yeah, look at that guy's arm right there. And that's how they live. You need to recognize that look. And we were taught all that stuff to know these things and know what they ate. We made baskets to carry water. So can you imagine how tight of a stitch that is to make sure that that basket didn't leak? We made baskets to catch food. We made baskets to gather material. We made baskets for gifts to put people in their coffin and lower them in the ground. We have certain ceremonies that we do when we send somebody home. When I say that somebody went home, that means someone died. And when you send them home, you don't cry for them. You don't be sad for them. You don't use them as an excuse to ruin your life. You honor them because they gave you a whole bunch of lessons for you to remember. And what you do to honor them is you go and teach that to the next generation, what they taught you. So all that work that they did while they were living doesn't get lost or went home with them. Some of them went home very sad because they got stripped of who they are in the boarding schools. And today I tell people, they changed the name of boarding school today. They called it prison. And it's a big old place where they're all at. I work in there. I work in the prison. I go in there and I teach these Native American men and women who they are and where they come from. I teach them their medicine. I teach them their traditions. I teach them their ceremonies. I teach them how to dance. I teach them how to talk to each other. What's the most important thing as a human being that there is today that we have to master? What do you think that is? Right. Communication. And we have to be able to communicate with each other. Because if we don't know how to do that, then we're done. When someone's talking to you, it's all you got to do is listen. And the message is your goal. You're going to get a message. But at the end of the message, you get a lesson. They're telling you what life has taught them, what life has put them through, what life has shown them. Because once you experience what you're going through, there's only two energies attached to these lessons. It's a positive and negative. Which one treats you better? Positive or negative? Which one feels better? Then why we always play around with the negative part of it? Because it hurts your emotions, your feelings. And you want revenge. You got some resentment there. So when you feel that way and you carry that, you're going to take that to somebody younger than you and show it to them. And now you're the teacher of that. So anything that was taught to you in life that you didn't like, you say thank you to that teacher. Say thank you for showing me what I'm not supposed to feel like. Thank you for showing me what I'm never supposed to teach nobody. That lesson stops right here with me. Right here. And what my teaching is to everybody in the prisons is we got to stop looking at each other as color. We're not colors. We're human beings. And we come from different nations. And all these nations have different languages, different foods, different dancing, different traditions that you go through. If you look in this room right here, how many natives are in this room right here? Stand up. How many natives? Okay. You see all these natives. Now, if there's any Latinos here, stand up. Okay. You see how many of them stood up? They don't know they're natives. You are natives from down south. You went through the same thing, got robbed of who you are and what you are by the people. Europeans came this way, robbed natives. They don't know their languages. They don't know their songs. I believe it was the Spaniards came up and robbed the Latino tribes down there. You are from a different tribe down there. Which tribe are you from? You have your own language. You have your own culture. You have your own dancing. It's there. You just got to go look it up. And that's what I teach them in there, is to find out who you really are, what nation you come from, and be proud of that. German nation, be proud of the Russian nation, be proud of all those places that you know you're from. I talk to a lot of people and I ask, what nation are you from? And they go, oh, I don't know. And they're like, what? And they'll tell me, I'm a Heinz 57. I go, what is that? And they'll tell me, oh, I'm a mutt. What is that? I don't know what that is. It's like, I come from many different places. I have 5 different types of blood that run through my body. But that's who you are. That's who you are, and you be proud of that. Don't put yourself down and make fun of that stuff. Because what you want to learn from me today is that we still have our culture. And when you look at this, you'll see it. Some of you will say, what is that? Some of you will say, oh, that's a wing. Some of you will say, that's a feather. But when I look at it, it's medicine. And this medicine I use in my culture. This medicine I use to heal people. And when you see me wiping people off with this, I'm wiping off that negative energy that I feel there, that they were taught. All this ugliness that you know in your head that you feel was taught to you. You were never supposed to own that. And I'm going to come and wipe it off of you and send it off. And hopefully that you'll let me. You'll let people come. When you see somebody standing up there and they're willing to wipe people off, go over there and ask them. They're not going to tell you, get out of here, you're not native. They're going to look at you and be, oh, yeah, wipe you off. And when I go like this, I grab all the energy in here, and I will teach you who you are. I will teach you that you're the most important person in life because you own 2 things. First thing you own is your own life. You own that. That's yours. The second thing you own is your emotions. You own those. So don't tell me that you're going to go out there and let anybody tell you how to feel today. They're not going to tell you how to feel. You let them make you feel like that. Remember, you own those. So when people come and screaming, yelling around at you, they're showing you what someone else taught them. They're showing you that they're having a bad day. So tell yourself, I'm glad I don't feel like that. And I'm not going to join you because you don't look like you're enjoying it either. So I'm just going to stay right here and just recognize you really feel like that. And I pray that you figure out. And if you really love and care for them, you'll ask them, how long do you want to feel like that? Because I can't help you. You're the only one who took yourself there because you own your emotions and you're the only one who can heal from that. So let it go. Stop walking around in your head. And if you was going to ask me what my book's all about, it's called Get Out of Your Head. That's the name of my book because all that stuff that was taught to you, you didn't know any of that till your teacher showed up and showed you what that ugliness was. That is not who you are. That was taught to you. So you wipe yourself clean of it. Tonight, start tonight, and then from now on, go show everybody who you really are. Don't be labels. Don't be giving in and telling people, okay, I'm a mutt, okay, I'm this and that. No, you're a human being, and you're here to learn. And I'm looking forward to seeing you out there doing what you're going to go do because you're very important to our next generation. You're the next generation that's going to take things over. And in closing, the traditional healing that I was talking about to you has to do with you opening up your mind. And when you open up your mind, you just be there by yourself. If you have a spiritual self, open that path up right now. Open it up. And find that one thing that was taught to you that was uglier than heck. And you don't want it no more. Bring it to you. Feel it right now. Close your eyes. As I sing this song, it's a healing song. It's for all of us, every one of us in this room, to grab that ugliness and say, thank you for showing me what I'm never supposed to feel like or teach anyone the rest of my life. And I'm going to send it off today. tonight, right now. And the diversity of this is I'm going to give you a real quick version of a healing session. You can't really do it in this amount of time, but I'm going to give you a quick one. So just close your eyes, and when I'm done with the song, then you tell yourself in your head, say, take it from here. And who you're talking to is who you believe is your spiritual. You say, take it from here. And this is a healing song for my tribe. Hey, oh, hey, oh, hey, oh, hey, oh, hey, oh, hey, oh, oh, hey, hey. Thank you.